Hi everyone, I'm Danielle with Trinity Readings. We are going to do a quick energy check-in, and this is going to be for the sign of Virgo. Keep in mind these are general readings, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If you find that the reading doesn't resonate, you can always check your moon, rising, or Venus placements, because sometimes those will resonate more. And I do offer personal readings. You can get all of that information in the description box. All right, Virgo, we're just checking in on your energy, see what you need to be aware of, what is coming towards you. We're going to start by getting you some messages from your guides, seeing what is the strongest message that's wanting to come through for you. What are your guides wanting you to know right now? Have confidence that what you want is already yours. Let me see. If you feel that you're not getting the things that you desire, ask yourself, look at your confidence in it. A lot of times we look for, it's like we look to, why can't I talk? It's like we look for the validation of receiving what we want in order to, why can't I speak? When we want something, we tend to not fully accept it until we receive it. But the way to receive the things that you want is by having confidence that you already have it, by acting as if you already have it. And so a lot of times, without realizing it, we will want something but not fully let ourselves feel the desire for it until we receive it. And so it's always going to keep you in that space of stagnation. Just because something is not appearing in front of you in this moment, or it's not flowing in exactly the way that you think it's going to be, it does not mean that things are not working out for you. It's almost like you're on the path to have what you want. And what you want is like right here, right? And you're on the path for it, but there's something in front of it that's making you feel like it's not available to you. And so you're re-questioning yourself, you're re-evaluating, you're second-guessing yourself. And so it's like you need to be able to keep your focus on the fact that you've already gotten what you want, and just accept it and be confident in it. And don't let your energy, or don't let yourself get distracted don't let yourself get distracted by the need for validation that you're going to receive it. You know, I used to be really bad about this, especially I started watching a lot of YouTube readings, probably 6 or 7 years ago. And I noticed that I got really bad about I would be seeking a certain answer, right? Or I would be seeking guidance on a certain thing. And so I would watch a reading and it would say, yes, this is yours. You're on the right path, da, 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 da. But instead of saying, okay, and taking that and, you know, whatever, I would keep watching more and more and more readings, because if you have 10 readings that are going to validate that yes for you, it's better than one, right? But you don't want to get yourself in the habit of constantly needing validation that you are on the right path. If you're still in the space of seeking the validation that what you want is available, or that you can have what you want, like if you're still seeking the validation for it, you haven't gotten yourself into the acceptance phase. And so you're just going to keep getting validation and signs and synchronicities, but you're never going to see any forward movement if you keep seeking the validation. I notice it a lot of times, like, and again, I've done this myself, like people will be on the path and feel really good, and they've kind of gotten this guidance that yes, this is available to you, yes, this is meant for you, yes, you are on the right path, yes, just have confidence. And then they'll have a bad day, right? Or something won't go the way that they expect it, and then all of a sudden they'll go, okay, but does that mean that this is still on my path? Now this has happened, maybe I have to do something different. But in order to receive what you want, like, you need to continue to move in that direction and move as if you have already manifested it, right? And so anytime you get distracted or start to second guess yourself, or even get into like a competitive energy, you're going to keep yourself stagnant. It's like, be careful of the need for validation, because that's just going to, it's also like blocking creativity too. When you're constantly seeking the answers or constantly wanting the validation. Let me see if we can get a little bit more on what this message is. In all honesty, we can have whatever we want. And the minute that we ask for something or put it out there in the universe, it's already available to us. And so there really should be no need to ask your guides, is this meant for me? Can I have this? Because you're kind of meant to say, I can have whatever I want, right? And so questioning whether or not something is meant for you or available to you also means that you're questioning yourself. It's like you're saying that you're getting all the signs and synchronicities, but you're not trusting them fully. You've committed yourself to something. You've committed yourself to a goal. You've committed yourself to a dream. You've been making a lot of progress. You've been making really good progress. You're definitely in alignment with what you want. But the path forward right now involves doing the, just kind of moving along in the day-to-day experience. There's something of value to be learned in this day-to-day experience right now. You are on the path, whatever you've committed yourself to, whatever goal you've been focused on, whatever dream that you've committed yourself to, or desire that you've committed yourself to, or even relationship ideal that you've committed yourself to. You are in alignment for that. You are on the right path towards that. And it might not be in front of you at this moment, but that does not mean that it's not there. It does not mean that it's not available to you. It means there's something valuable to be learned or to be gained in this experience of just the normal day-to-day routine, in moving in your day-to-day life as if you already have what you want. I also feel like there's something very valuable that you're learning right now, even though it doesn't appear that way, even though it doesn't make sense, even though it feels like you've been shut off from what it is that you want. There's something valuable in just simply the day-to-day routine. So let's see if we can get more insight on what this message is. Yeah, you're showing up as Eight of Swords, so you're definitely feeling very stuck. You're definitely feeling very restricted. You're not feeling like you have a lot of options. You're feeling very closed off. You're feeling like nothing's moving forward. But it's because the path forward is not necessarily logical, or it doesn't appear to be in alignment with what you want, but it's part of the process. It's part of the path forward. Yeah, because there's something that you're learning. There's something very valuable that you're meant to be learning in this period of time. It's like there's so much value in what is right in front of you. I think you've dealt with some kind of loss. You're dealing with some kind of heartache. You're feeling very disconnected from something that you want. You feel like something has blocked you from having what you want. But it's because you're meant to be focused on the day-to-day experience right now. Because what you want is right in front of you. The wish fulfillment is right in front of you. There's value in giving yourself time to heal. There's value in taking time to love yourself. There's value in taking time to honor yourself. There's value in taking time to honor what your feelings are, to tap into what your feelings are. There's value in taking time to grow. You might be feeling like other people already have what it is that you want. And because you're seeing other people around you have the things that you want, you might be feeling as if like that means that there's something wrong with you, or something wrong with something that you have to offer, or that you don't have what you need in order to get what you want. It's like you still might be in the space of either looking for the validation that you're worthy of what you want, or feeling as if you are having to prove yourself to another person. Get a little bit more. I kind of feel like you have it's like you're in this really stagnant place within your love life, within your relationships with other people. You're connecting to people in a really open way, in a really loving way, but it almost feels like it's the same repetitive cycle over and over again. You're connecting to people in a very authentic and loving and genuine way. You're connecting in this really healing way. You've had connections that have really opened you up to healing, but it's like the change and the growth, it's like there's some sort of stagnancy in that. It's also like you're giving all of this love to your connections, but you're not connecting your desires to it also. You're not acknowledging your own desires within the connection, your own passion within the connection, your own sense of purpose. It's like you're getting a lot of resistance it's like there's a lot of potential in the relationships around you. There's a lot of potential for love around you. There's a lot of, like, there's beautiful relationships around you, but there's some sort of resistance or like this closed off energy to that shift forward. It's like in one aspect, there's too much control, and then in another aspect, there's like no boundaries at all. And it could be that that's what you're dealing with in your relationship. Like one person in the relationship is completely closed off and completely resistant, and the other person is completely open. And whatever side you find yourself on in that, you have to like bring more balance into that within you in order to see that balance reflected from the people that you're connected to. If you're dealing with like if in your relationships, in your romantic life, the person that you're dealing with is completely closed off emotionally, you giving more love and giving more emotion and being completely open and free with yourself is not going to encourage that person to lower their guard, right? In all honesty, you're meant to, in some aspect, acknowledge that you need some of those boundaries within yourself that person so fiercely has. But what we will do is, and you see it in like the anxious avoidant attachment styles, like one person is completely closed off and the other person is like frantically trying to get that person's attention, right? But what is, and what will usually happen is the one person will be frantically trying to get that other person's attention, and then they get frustrated with that, and so then they try to become like the other person and completely close themselves off. But you're still dipping from one extreme to the other, right? So you need to be able to have boundaries, but you need to be able to be loving and open as well, right? And that's what I feel like this is kind of like, there's value in kind of taking your time moving forward to find that balance. If you're too focused on the love being given and received and not enough on the consistency, then the consistency is going to go out the window, right? For some of you, you've dealt with people in your past that like put you in the mind space of all or nothing. Of like, you've dealt with people in the past who would completely close themselves off to you and completely make you like, leave you feeling like starved for attention or starved for love. And so when you would connect, like you're grasping at anything that you can get, right? And it's like, that's the kind of dynamic that you're sitting in and the energy that you're sitting in. It's like all or nothing, right? It's either a shitload of attention or nothing at all. And there's a need to find that balance. And in order to get that balance, that balanced energy from other people, you have to find that balance within yourself first. You can't be overly strict with your boundaries, but you can't be like completely free with them either, right? Yeah, you're being guided to like, don't focus on what you think is available. Like, when it comes to your relationships with other people, like, don't get focused on, well, this is what I'm going to get from this person, or this is how this person always is, or this is how people usually are when it comes to relationships, so I have to be this way or this way. Don't look at that. Like, take a moment and really reflect on what it is that you want within your love life, within your relationships, within everything, and work on like slowly taking your time. There's no need to rush, but work on finding that energetic balance within yourself. If you want honesty and loyalty and openness, then make sure you're giving that to yourself, that you're honoring those values within your relationship, right? And when you're not seeing that being reflected, you're putting boundaries up, right? Take your time to kind of get yourself grounded in what it is that you want, and trusting that what you want, you're worthy to have. If you want commitment in a relationship, you should not have to put up with what you don't want until you get to what you do want, right? You should be able to, this is what I want. This is what I'm moving towards. This is the energy that I'm going to sit in until I manifest that, right? I also feel that it's important to recognize that you do seem to be in some sort of period, like healing period. If you've gone through some kind of loss or gone through some sort of breakup, make sure you're giving yourself time to heal and get adjusted and get readjusted to what your energy is, to what your desires are, to what your passion is. Don't let yourself in your relationships with other people, don't let yourself get completely sucked into and completely drained by your relationships every single day, right? Make sure you're honoring like your need for your own balance and your own energy, because I feel like the potential is like all around you right now to have what it is that you want, especially within your love life, especially within your relationships. But there's a need to kind of get out of the cycle of extremes. Like, get out of that cycle of all or nothing and be okay with kind of like just consistency moving forward. Like, there's value in things going slow. If you've just connected to somebody, there's value in taking time to get to know this person. There's value in honoring the friendship right now. Like, there's value in taking your time with things to be able to be more aware of what your energy is. I hope that makes sense. I love you guys. Bye-bye.